Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Today, I'm chatting with one of my lovely graduates who trained with me in both knitting and crochet tech editing. So, we have the lovely Nessa, and we're going to talk about what she was doing before, what the course was like, and what's happened since. So, if you've ever wondered whether tech editing might be for you, this will be quite helpful. So, Nessa, welcome.
Hi.
Let's start right at the beginning. Can you tell us a little bit about your background with knitting and crochet before you started tech editing?
So I have always been a knitter and crocheter since my mum taught me when I was about 3. So very small, I learned to knit. A little bit later, when I was about 6, I learned to crochet. Always been part of my life as an adult. So sort of in my 20s, I used to knit for shops in Birmingham, Fildar and other places. I've always knit for other people. And then later in life, so when I was around about 40, I my marriage fell apart. I got made redundant, blah, blah, all that sort of stuff happened. And I moved away and became a single mum. And then I started working in a knitting shop. I fell into it because I went to the knitting group and then I started working there. And I also started volunteering with the UK Hand Knitting Association at the knitting shows around the country, just helping people learn to knit. Just a few stitches, a little bit of casting on, and a little bit of this, just tiny little 10-minute slots. And it's grown from that into more teaching. And then it started, I did see you on TV first. And then I saw you at the Knitting and Stitching Show one year. And then the next year you were there with Paula.
Yeah,
And I
that's
saw
where we met.
you.
Yeah.
That's where we properly met. And I saw you there and I was just like, I really want to do that. I really want
Okay.
to
So
step into that.
were you feeling sort of frustrated before you found tech editing with what you were doing, or was it just that it was
It's
just something
another
else?
part of it.
Yeah.
So I literally read knitting patterns for fun.
Yeah.
So I get knitting magazines and read them cover to cover. I will get a knitting book and I will
Fantastic.
read it and read the patterns and then I don't necessarily need to knit the pattern because I've read it.
Okay.
Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
I
Yeah, I do. I know
There are
exactly
patterns
what
I
you
want
mean.
to knit. Don't get me wrong. There's lots of patterns, and in fact, one of the most frustrating things I found about being a tech editor is the number of patterns that I edit and now I want to make. That's like,
Hey,
oh,
comes with the
I
territory.
want to
Comes
make
with the
this.
territory.
So like it's like, oh, I'd like to make that now.
Okay, so what would you say was the thing that finally was the turning point and made you decide to take the plunge and become a tech editor and
Um,
train as a tech editor?
and train as the tech editor. The opportunity. So
Okay.
yeah, so I had previously been on a little design course. I
Hmm.
met somebody else who did a tech editing course, and I had tried before, and I didn't get it, Carol. I didn't get it.
Okay.
I didn't get the way I was trained before.
Interesting.
And then I did your little mini taster, and I
Hmm.
got it.
There you go. Fantastic.
It
That's
made
wonderful.
such a massive difference.
So I was going to ask, why did you choose this course in the end? But it sort of seems like it found you, really,
Yes, it found
after
me, and I
trying some other
understood it
things.
exactly. And it fitted in with where I was in my life at the time as well, because I was at that point where I was teaching and had some time, not massive amounts of time,
Yeah.
but enough time. And also the way the course is structured, because you literally can do it in your lunch break. You're very clever at how you've made it so that it's literally an hour long session and you can literally, and you put it on at lunchtime, you can literally do it in your lunch break. So you can come along, do your bit of training, and then
Yeah.
pop off and have the rest of your normal day.
Yeah.
Um, so it's not onerous, it's not
Okay.
really weighty.
You
Yeah,
do. I should tell people that there are
there's more
assignments that you
option.
have to take. Yeah,
Yeah.
which I actually mark. I don't just give you a sample solution. So what did you think about that? Was that helpful? I hope so because I don't want to stop marking them.
No, don't stop marking them. It's really helpful because I'm very much a believer that if you don't know, how can you learn? If you
Mm,
don't know that there are other ways, or that Yeah, I designed something recently, and I got one of the group of tech editors to tech edit it, and it came back with the most helpful comments on it. It was amazing to have these
Excellent.
really helpful comments, and that feedback is valuable, so valuable to to just have. And not everything is black and white, is it? Numbers,
No.
obviously, stitch counts might,
Yeah.
they need to be correct, but sometimes the way you word something, the way you say something, you want to retain the designer's voice and things like that. But little hints and tips that people can give you, you can give people to make things
Okay.
smoother.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So would you
having,
say the support community then, but as part of the learning was helpful to you?
yes, yeah.
Okay.
So obviously I did the live version of the course. That's partly on me because I know that I am not a self-motivated person. So I
Mhm.
needed the live version to stay on top of it. But also that meant I was working alongside people in that.
Yeah.
And then you have got this community of tech editors and designers. And yeah, it's such a lovely community.
It is lovely, isn't it? Can't
It's
believe it's
great.
been going 5 years now.
5 years, I know. Well done,
So
you.
here's one for you. When did you first feel like I'm actually a tech editor?
Gosh. When I tech edited something and the client valued my opinion, really valued my opinion, not just I did the job and sent it back and that was that, but they came back to me and said, well, what do you think? Should I do this or should I do that? It's not just about the numbers.
No, absolutely not. That's fantastic. So you obviously have started working as a tech editor. What did the first steps look like? Was it scary?
It's a little bit scary because you're putting yourself out there and
Hmm.
asking people. So I think it's easier to ask complete strangers than it is to ask people that might know who you are or you know.
Okay.
My favorite client is somebody that I've known for a long time and have stalked. If she sees this, she'll know exactly who she is. But yeah, stalked is a very creepy word for something I did very nicely and very lovelily. But somebody I really admire and somebody who I followed for a long time. And now I'm tech editing some of her work. And
Fantastic.
that wasn't my aim in stalking her. I stalked her because I like her work. But it's ended up that I'm now tech editing some of her patterns. So, that's great.
Fantastic. Brilliant.
Yeah.
What's your proudest moment, would you say, so far as a tech editor?
As a tech editor, well, it comes back to being part of the community. And one of the things we do as part of the community is we produce our Cool Wool Curated Collection magazine. And my proudest moment is producing that magazine. So I have highlights of producing that magazine. So in producing that magazine, there are people who put their designs into that magazine for the first time, and they are now out there in the wild as published designers making a living as designers. And I think there's lots of people out there making a living as tech editors as well, which is amazing, but there's people out there making a living as designers and tech editors. And you, Carol, pushed them on to do that. You created that. This community created that.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
it is wonderful because I would say that you've learnt tech editing, but it's led on to a lot of other things, which is what I was going to ask you about, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it just give us a bit of an idea of what other things have happened that maybe bring income or just maybe make you feel better or increase your following, whatever, because of tech editing.
Because of tech editing, I will be teaching in Poland in September alongside Carol Ibbotson and Jenny Street. That's pretty impressive.
But your whole training thing has grown since, hasn't it? Because
Yeah,
you've got
yeah.
your own
So,
premises and
so
everything,
yes,
haven't you?
I've got a studio in
Mhm.
North London with my business partner. I teach in various locations. Just everything. My whole confidence has grown. I would never have dreamed of teaching internationally, or many of the things that are happening.
Yeah.
I've got a book on my shelf with your name in and my name in. I was a knitter, and I love it. I get the book out when I'm teaching a class. So it's one of those, a knitting guidebook and a knitting Bible, whatever it's called. And it's got, you tech edited it and I knit some of the samples. So we're both in the credit page. And I get it out and I go, and this is Carol, she's my knitting guru. And this is me, I knit the samples. And I show all my students,
Show them what they can do.
Show them what they can do and what can become of this knitting as a career.
Yeah.
I love it.
So what would you say to someone who's maybe thinking about doing a tech editing course but isn't sure? What would you say?
I'd say go for it, because what have you got to lose, really? You just do the course, do the assignments. They are fun. And then you'll be in the community. Come into the community, go for a ride with us, and we will show you where you need to go. And also we will help you get to where you need to go, because some of us get overloaded and share work. If you get stuck on something, you come into the community and ask your question and you'll get your answers.
Yeah.
You're not on your own when you're in this community.
Absolutely, yeah. Which is interesting, because tech editing itself, by its nature, is quite a solitary thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you need other people around like that, I think. And
I think so.
The community seems to be doing a good job with that.
I think, brilliant job.
Okay. So what sort of person do you think tech editing is suited for? What attributes would you say they need?
It's interesting, isn't it? So in the community, there are a lot of people who have been translators or accountancy, bookkeepery type people.
There are actually, yes.
Aren't there? But I don't think they're necessarily skills that you have to have had. Like I said, I like to read knitting and crochet patterns. So obviously there's something about that code aspect that I enjoy. I can read that code. And I think we often say that you need an eye for detail. Maybe I don't have necessarily an eye for detail. I have an eye for the construction of a garment, the way the stitches go together.
And that's important, because you have to visualize that, don't you, if you're working through a pattern, to make sure the bits are in the right place and they're going to join together correctly and everything.
Yes, and I'm forever just drawing out funny little line things that don't look anything like stitches, but to me they show how the stitches go together.
Absolutely.
Accuracy is something that's quite important, and a love of the craft, a love of knitting or crochet, whichever it is.
So what sort of projects do you enjoy most? Does that affect you, what it is you're actually tech editing?
I haven't tried enough to find anything that I don't like yet.
Okay. Because I do sometimes say on the course that if you hate making socks, you probably wouldn't want to tech edit a sock pattern. But
so you don't have, and that is interesting, isn't it? So in the crochet world, some people don't like the 3D shapes, and some people do like the 3D shapes. I haven't done enough to figure out whether I like them or not. I understand how 3D shapes work. Whether I would want to do a whole toy, I don't know. I haven't got there yet. Sometimes I guess it might be more in the construction that it might get more difficult.
Right. So is there anything that you worried about that turned out not to be an issue before you started working as a tech editor?
I was going to say I'm not a worrier. That would be a complete and utter lie. I can be a feet first person. So when it comes to taking on a client, I will jump in feet first because I want the client and worry about the issues with the pattern later, knowing that I've got this group of people behind me. So those things I didn't worry about. I think some of the more legal aspects, like bookkeeping, or do I need a website? Do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? Those things are more worrying, but I do know where the answers are because they're all in the community.
Yes. Okay, so the setting up side of it, the tech side maybe gave you a few shivers, but as you say, we've got people that have done all that and know what they're doing, so you've got help there. Interesting. Okay, but nothing personal that you surprised yourself with about yourself.
I think it's very interesting that I'm not very good at asking for things for myself, but I'm very good at being somebody's wingman, and I think I need to get better at being my own wingman. Like I said, I can approach strangers for work, but not necessarily people that I know.
Yeah.
So for me, if I want more clients, I do need to go out and find them.
Okay.
But you know, with the way the world works now, it's all Facebook and social media, and it's not me, it's the keyboard asking. So
Yes.
I can get over that. I can get over the keyboard, you know.
Yeah.
So that
Okay.
doesn't really bother me. And then time management is another bit of a thing,
Hmm.
because the days fly by and then you suddenly realize you've got 2 days left to do your tech edit, which isn't really long enough,
No.
because you need the time to do the tech edit and then you need the pause.
Yes.
You always need
You
that
do.
pause. And that's quite
Yes.
important, the pause before you send it off.
Yeah.
When something
Yeah.
in your head goes, oh no, I didn't count this, or oh, what about that? You need
Yeah.
the pause. Yeah.
Well, I've been doing this for nearly 14 years now, and I would say only the last couple of years have I got my time management where I need it to be.
There you go.
So it's
Yeah.
interesting, but it
Mm.
is, well, that's something about working in business on your own anyway. Whatever you're doing, you're going to have issues like that. So you need to learn how to deal with them. Brilliant. Well, this might be tricky, but can you sum up in a sentence or two your experience of the course?
Very interesting. Oh, not, I'm not going to say easy. Easy is not the right word, but very presented in a way that you can follow it,
Hmm.
follow it through. It all makes sense. It's very logically presented. It's broken down into sections that make sense, so that this section fits here, this section fits here. And yeah, and you can do the assignments as and when. So it's very easy. It's easy to follow, even if you come across a tricky piece of content.
Excellent.
And there's
Thank you.
plenty of assistance.
Yes, there is. Okay, any last words you'd like to say? Because I think we found out quite a bit about you. I
Mm.
really remember that day quite clearly when I met you at the Knitting and Stitching show.
Yeah.
And I thought, who's this crazy lady? But you were so bubbly, so full of personality. And I thought, I really hope she does take the course because I know she's going to do well. So
And
thank you.
look at where we are now.
Yes, look at where we are now.
I
Yeah.
know, it's great. I would just tell anybody who's got just the tiniest inkling to do the taster one, to try it, to see what it
Yeah.
feels like,
Yeah.
because it will open a door for you. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's why I designed it that way. I didn't want people to have to buy a full course without knowing whether it's something they enjoyed. So the intro course is exactly that.
Yeah.
Okay, Nessa, thank you so
Oh,
much for sharing. It's been so lovely to hear your journey. And if you're watching this and you think it's something you'd like to explore, might be right for you, I'll pop the details below and you can take a look in your own time. Okay, see you next time. Bye.